What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm, the first episode of 2019. Oh my goodness, that is right. We are now into Volume 2, guys, episode 48.
Volume 2.
Yes.
That's, a whole year under the belt.
I know, right?
It's
insane.
It's insane.
Our anniversary is coming up. We should look up to see when our anniversary is.
That's true. It's the 18th, right? January 18th.
Is it?
Yeah, I believe so.
No, snap.
If it works out
20th.
properly, I think our 50th episode is actually one full year.
That's epic.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's crazy.
Hell yeah. Oh my goodness.
I just remember when we started off going down to the library and trying to record,
trying
to record the test
it's
episode.
expanded so much.
We've come a long way.
We have.
I mean, I remember you guys remember us doing those 30-minute shows? Well, now it's like 2 hours.
Yeah, 30 minutes. We were, wow, yeah.
Do we have enough material to fill 30 minutes? And then we kept going over a little bit. It was like, do we have enough material to fill an hour?
Huge thank you to every single guest that came on the show in 2018.
Oh, seriously.
I mean, I never, when we started off, in the library with 30 minutes, did we ever think we would be able to get some of the most amazing guests and Hollywood legends that we got on the show.
Within the first year.
It was, in the
we
first
thought
year.
we could do that, but we didn't think year one.
This first
Ed
year.
Asner, Mr. Feeney, William Daniels, Eric Braden,
Billy
Sam
Ray,
Medina,
and
Billy Ray.
Oh my gosh,
it's
man.
been absolutely phenomenal.
It has, but 2019, bigger
and better.
I mean, it's going to expand from here.
That's right.
And so I guess, right, for all of the new listeners, because I know we got a bunch of new listeners, the Inside the Crazy Ant Farm has stayed the same.
Yes.
But new name, it's a new company. Crazy Ant Media.
That's right. Because we don't want to restrict ourselves to just one thing.
Yeah, you don't want to pigeonhole yourself into a tiny box.
Exactly.
Much like the show, the company grew in 2018. So, yeah, we're expanding. We don't want to be limited to just one area, like Logan said. So, hence the name change. And, yeah, Crazy Ant Media moving forward. So, we're really excited about that.
Hell yeah. We got a new newsletter coming out. You can go to our website, crazyantmedia.com, subscribe to our newsletter. We're still setting it up, so we're still figuring everything out, what's best, what's not best.
Yeah,
so,
we're kind of doing a redesign of the website also.
Yeah, also a redesign. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
But then I was on the YouTube video noticing he even added some new touches to the
filled out some stuff in the office.
Where we came from, where we are, and where we're going, right?
Exactly.
So, just every time.
Exactly.
Just a crazy, crazy year.
Yeah, but the newsletter, it's going to be about what the company's doing, like weekly, what's going to be on Inside the Crazy Ant Farm on Fridays, or whenever we drop them, really. We really don't have a restriction or a certain day where we drop them, but we'll let you know on social media when and where we will drop them.
Exactly. It's your go-to source for everything that you need to know about what's coming up.
Exactly.
So
it's also getting us ready for more live, too. Going completely live.
Yeah.
And, oh boy, unrestricted.
Well,
exactly.
We're going to have a place in the newsletter and or a place on the website where you can submit emails to us, messages to us, because we want interaction. We do a top 5 segment every week that changes categories every week.
Yes.
And for guests, if there's anybody that you want to hear from on the show, if they're your favorite celebrity or singer or writer or, let us know, and then we will do our very best to get them on the show for you.
Especially the unsung heroes. The people are more in the background because a lot of the lead actors get
below the line.
A lot of lead actors get all the spotlight. Well, there's a lot of people behind those lead actors that help them be
Well,
just
and
as
I got to
strong.
tell you, one of my favorite interviews of the first year was Billy Ray,
Oh,
screenwriter.
yeah.
Academy Award winning, nominated screenwriter. And he was, one of the best interviews, I thought. So not all about, like Chris said, in front of the camera,
Exactly.
There's so many.
Everybody in the industry. I mean, like you said, we had Billy Ray, we had Catrice Barnes. So many behind the scenes people. So
absolutely
looking to get more of those people. It'd be a lot of fun.
I mean, that's what it's all about. Spreading the knowledge, having people learn the industry, and we have a good time with that.
We really do.
Yeah.
We really do. But let's get started with some industry news. First show back. Get started with some industry news. Disney, guys, dominated.
Right off the bat.
Disney
dominated the 2018 box office, man.
No,
2018,
really?
2018, 2019.
Yeah.
It's the first show of the new year, but some things never change.
No.
Our 2 top stories, Disney and Netflix.
Yeah.
I mean, but domination is the key word. This is insane. Okay, first of all, the worldwide box office in whole set a new record, $11+ billion at the worldwide box office. Okay, but here's the crazy thing: out of that $11 billion, Disney is responsible for $7.3 billion of it.
Damn.
Just Disney.
Yeah.
$7.3 billion of the $11 billion made at the worldwide box office.
You think about those huge blockbusters, man, like Black Panther, Avengers, Infinity War, Incredibles 2, like so many.
I mean, yeah.
And then continuing into 2019, most of our top 5 segments, or most of our top 5 last week were from Disney.
Yeah.
Like anticipated 2019 movies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think, based on what they said their release slate was, we did pretty good on our most anticipated movies for Disney. Because we didn't even mean to do it for Disney, but it was like you said,
so many articles came out, and the ones we listed were on the most anticipated.
So Disney being such a juggernaut. Sorry to cut you in. When are they gonna start buying up theaters?
Right, like Disney theater. Like,
that's what's gonna. I mean, that's the next step.
Yeah,
like they're owning
honestly.
a lot of Hollywood. They produce all the movies. If they're going to get all the money, might as well like buy up.
That would be crazy. That would literally just be a huge like takeover.
It would be. It would be massive. And here's the thing, though: they've got the Lion King, the live action Lion King. The live-action Aladdin, Toy Story 4, Frozen 2,
that's gonna
Avengers Endgame. All of those are coming. Star Wars Episode 9. All of those are coming in 2019.
Yeah.
So, and now we should be fair. Disney didn't break the record.
Yeah.
They didn't break the record for the biggest box office for a studio. They fell number 2, so it's the 7.3
But they lost
billion.
to themselves.
They
right?
lost to themselves. Yeah, they hold the record for 7.8 billion in 1 year. So I mean, they're just killing it.
Yeah.
They're absolutely killing it.
It's insane, man. That's why our goal is bigger than the mouse.
Bigger than the mouse. That's
exactly.
who you shoot for, man.
I mean,
if you're going for the top.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
man.
Mickey.
But freaking streaming services, though, they're still here. They're around. Talk about crazy, okay? Like, for the first time ever, streaming shows outnumber their traditional on-air shows.
Yeah.
That's insane.
495 scripted original programs were in 2018.
Damn.
160 of them were on streaming services. Yeah, that's compared to 146 on broadcast with Fox, CBS, ABC, 144 on basic cable, 45 on pay cable like HBO, Showtime.
Yeah.
160 original programs on streaming services.
It seems like Netflix is the place to be, man. I mean, even when talking out and about to regular old people. Like,
right.
Have you seen this on Netflix? Have you seen the latest Bird Box? Have you
Bird
seen
Box.
the
Innocent
Bird
Man?
Box. Have you seen Black Mirror? Like, there's so much good original content.
There really is. And what's interesting is because they make this comparison to the broadcast television, only 104. But broadcast knows where it's going because a lot of them, CBS All Access, ABC, obviously with Disney Plus coming, a lot of the broadcast channels have now started their own streaming services to compete with the streaming service, Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, because they know that's where it's all going.
Exactly.
So while they might be seeing their numbers decline on the actual broadcast side of it, they know in order to compete, they have to go to the streaming side, and a lot of them have started to do
That's
that.
where
But
everything
are they too late? On some of them, they've waited too long.
That's a good point. I don't know, though. CBS All Access, I will say, out the door, see you later, don't let it hit in your butt, Les Moonves. But CBS All Access has been extremely successful. They've had several shows on there that are just killing it on streaming. Star Trek Discovery being one of them, and the Good Wife spinoff, the Good Fight, it's doing really well. Several of them. So I mean, I feel like they're okay.
Yeah.
Now whether the rest of them, I don't know. Disney Plus.
Let's see if they'll last.
We know they have the money.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. And I mean, Apple's coming
along.
along. Let's see if that Walmart thing comes along, or the Warner Brothers, or the Warner Media, I should say, streaming service coming along. So,
well, Warner Media, we'll talk about that in a minute. Just got a bunch of new stuff to put on their streaming service.
Yeah, honestly.
But I mean, this was in the cards. This was out there beforehand. It was forecast a long time ago. Cable companies didn't think that it was. They thought, this is just going to be a one-time thing, and people are going to come back, and they'll come back to the TiVos.
Yeah.
TiVo will be okay. We'll accept that.
Yeah.
No. People are wanting to watch something when they want to watch something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In our society, it's more and more 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Very few places it's 9 to 5 and you go home and watch what's on cable. No.
Yeah.
Most people have to work overnight.
I think there were a lot of cable company CEOs that laughed at the cut the cord, and now they're crying.
Now they are.
Because everybody's cutting the cord and nobody wants cable anymore.
Yeah.
And, that's just, they're always in a tiff. They're always trying to get, networks to re-sign with that, and it's eventually, I'm sorry, but cable's going to be dead.
Yeah.
Traditional cable that we're used to is not going to
The cord
survive.
will be extinct.
Yeah. It's just
if they did a better business plan and found a way to sell it to us without sitting there grossing the crap out of profits for themselves, they could have survived a lot longer.
Yeah.
If they also did a lot more in customer service, because all you hear Comcast and it's mostly Comcast, constantly out there getting a bad customer service rep.
It's true.
And all they have to do was sit there and be there for their customers. Exactly. They would be a lot more loyal.
Well, I'll tell you, I think the only way these companies are going to survive is as internet providers with broadband. And if they hadn't been spending a whole lot of money converting and getting their bandwidth up and solidifying their broadband capabilities, they're going to die. Because I think most people have already canceled cable and literally just use the cable companies. We do. Yeah. We got rid of cable a long time ago. We just use it as an internet provider.
Exactly.
So, I think that's the way maybe a handful of these companies survive, but other than that, if you were just a cable company, you're like,
you're gonna be dead in the water.
Yeah. Agreed. But freaking Netflix, rocking and rolling, man. They just hired a new CFO, Spencer Newman, and he's joining Netflix as the new chief financial officer, and he's gonna exit his Activision.
Whoa, they picked up someone from Blizzard.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, that dude was there 14 years. So that's
those
a
are
huge
some
gain.
And this is going to be interesting
game.
because this guy's coming in to take over for a CFO that's been there forever.
Yeah.
And he's coming into a situation where the company, let's be honest about it, as awesome as Netflix is doing, and they're rolling out a lot of originals and they're having a lot of success. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes too. But they're straddled in debt.
Yeah.
So they're handing this guy the chief financial officer position and going, hey, we're billions of dollars in debt, but here's our plan.
Hopefully he's ready for that. Because, there's been so many articles that came out recently.
He would know.
Yeah.
He would have a research to know. And he's been through
prepared,
Blizzard.
Bro.
Blizzard's pulled out some awesome hits, and they had to put down a lot of money for that stuff.
Agreed.
So,
you're looking at World of Warcraft. This is within the 14-year marker. World of Warcraft. That put a lot of money down, and to keep those servers, because they were in the beginning of it had a load of server issues in the start, and then they have a huge clientele. They expand in that universe 5-6 times. And it's still running a game that's been out for 10 years?
Lots
at
of
least?
Like at least.
At least that game's been going on. What game do you know of has been having that longevity?
Yeah.
And having paid subscriptions. I don't know. I think they're still running paid subscriptions, or you just have to buy certain packages now.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy.
And you having StarCraft and a whole bunch of other games. I think they still have Diablo, but I think there was an exit on that.
Yeah.
They have financed it, but they are not. It's not truly Blizzard. I'm not really too sure on that. I'm always confused on that story.
Yeah.
But this is a person that might be able to pull Netflix through and start we need to cut this.
Yeah.
You need to get rid of that.
Yeah.
We're
better with the
focused
budgeting
here.
size. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's my thing. I don't think. Ted Sarandos and Reed Hastings are brilliant guys. I don't think they're going to bring somebody into their little clique that they don't think is going to be able to handle the job. But it will be interesting because we know that old Teddy and Reed, they don't have any intention of slowing down.
Exactly.
So it will be interesting to see a new guy come into the chief financial spot and say, hey. Maybe let's slow down this whole talking $8 billion a year on spending or whatever. It'll be interesting to see if he does try to halt that a little bit and what the reaction to the two top guys is going to be. Because every interview and every time you see them, they're like, spend. So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Starting a whole new division in India.
Yeah, exactly. And but again, on the flip side of that, I don't see Reed and Ted bringing in yes men.
Yeah,
so I don't think this guy's going to come in and say, spend more. I think
they're smart.
Yeah, they're smart guys. They're smart guys.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of stuff premiering soon too, coming out on Netflix. Friends from College. I need to watch this one. I heard you said you compared it to Friends.
Yeah,
and How I Met Your Mother
I enjoyed it. There was a lot of good and a lot of bad. critiques or consensus on whether you should or shouldn't watch it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you're ever going to replicate Friends.
Yeah.
You're never. I mean, I think the closest we got to that's How I Met Your Mother with a group of friends that were kind of like, you know, but. It's really solid, and it stars a great cast. I mean, it's got a phenomenal cast, but I was worried. We were talking about this the other day. I'm like, I haven't heard anything about whether this is coming back or not.
Yeah.
Season 1 kind of ended, and that was is it? But they just released a trailer, and apparently it is. It's going to debut January 11th. So we come back, picks right up where it had left off.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it.
I mean, we were talking about this too. Like, for some Netflix shows, it seems like it takes the whole year for another season to come out. Like, they don't do this 6-month stuff or they do the breaks. No, it like takes the whole year. Like Stranger Things, for example, is coming out July 4th this year.
Oh man,
and
it's
been like a year since the last season. So.
It has. But you always knew that one was coming.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like with this Friends from College, much like season 1, it just kind of appeared.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, here's this new show. They didn't really
maybe
push
it's like
it
maybe it's the slow grower. Maybe slow and steady wins the race. But
slow grower.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but it's true. They didn't really market the first season, and I didn't hear anything until just today. Like, by the way, here's the trailer. It comes out next week. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, well, here it is.
It's been in the populace for. I mean, it's been still talked about constantly.
Yeah.
It hadn't had a decline in fanship.
Exactly.
So it's like, well, okay, we got the trailer ready and it comes out next week. Here you go.
There it is.
But unlike, Stranger Things and the Marvel series and like a lot of their new stuff which they push constantly.
Yeah.
It's going to be a year, but you at least know it's coming because they reference it. But
exactly. Oh, you talk about the Marvel one, Punisher season 2. It's coming out January 18th.
I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am about this. Let Frank be Frank.
Let Frank be Frank.
Oh my God, the trailer is epic.
Like,
I mean, what's he say? Like, I'm paraphrasing, but it's something along the lines of, I'm not the guy who saves people. I'm the guy who kills people. No, he says, I don't die. I kill people.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant, though. And from what I understand, that's the premise this year on season 2 is that he's going to become okay with who he is. Like, whole season 1, he was kind of struggling,
battling himself back and forth. He was going through, I felt like, a lot of PTSD with his military stuff. So.
Right. But this season, I hear that the whole premise is he just embraces Frank Castle and like, I'm the fucking Punisher. I kill people. I deal out the justice. That's how it's going. And I'm excited as shit. And then, of course, I'm sad because we all know it's getting canceled after this season.
That one and Jessica Jones.
Yeah, they haven't announced that, but we all know it's coming. I mean, so
just predicting it now.
I am really happy though. I'm hoping. Even though the majority of it's filmed, if not all of it is already filmed, we know that Karen shows up. Yeah. She's heavy in this season again.
That's exciting.
Hopefully, we see our friend Jeff Cantor and
That'd be awesome.
A couple of the other people from Daredevil show up.
That'd be epic.
That would be epic as a nice way to say,
we had Jeff Cantor on the show. If you want to go back and listen to that interview, he was amazing. Honestly, he was on Maniac as well. Like, really good guy.
Yeah,
really good guy.
And he holds the distinction. I love this part about it. If you're a fan of Law and Order, Rebecca Kennedy, oh my gosh! But he holds the distinction of being the only actor to have ever appeared on every Law and Order series.
It's crazy.
That's crazy, right? Like,
he's like, yes, I know. Thank you.
He's like, yeah, I believe that.
He even did L.A.
He did everyone. Like, how crazy is that? I mean.
But man, Netflix is rocking and rolling. Bird Box 45 million people viewed it in 7 days.
Yeah.
Oh man, the memes that have come out from it.
We're going to talk about those memes.
We're definitely going to talk about that. But this movie, again, I felt like it was like Friends from College. It was either people loved it or they hated it.
Yeah. Like, it seems like there's a lot of back and forth. I'm looking through like all sorts of social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And just people are very much on the line. Either they felt like it was too much hype and it wasn't that good, or it was pretty good. Yeah. So I still need to watch it.
I guess I didn't catch the hype train. Even when it premiered, we were just finishing up Sabrina.
Yeah.
So we didn't go into Bird Box yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw the big billboard, but I hadn't seen a trailer. I didn't know anything about it, so I don't know about this like overhype.
All right.
I felt like early on, I was surprised by the numbers, honestly, that it had 45 million people in the first week, because I felt early on it was getting a lot of unfair comparison to A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Because the premise is along those same lines of an apocalyptic, society, then people are on the run trying to survive kind of a thing. And So I think a lot of the negative criticism is that it was a knockoff of A Quiet Place. But I started watching it. I started watching it yesterday, and I don't see the comparison to A Quiet Place other than, okay, it's both post-apocalyptic.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, I was enjoying it.
I mean, this just happens, though. I mean, this could have been in production for about the same length of time as Quiet Place, happening on both sides of the spectrum. Yeah. Quiet Place came out now, and they just...
Well, what people need to realize, they need to educate themselves. Bird Box is based on a book that was out long before A Quiet Place. So it's, if anything's a knockoff of something, like, it's the other way around. So, but yeah, man, this, if, by the way, because I know J-Lo's itching to get at this. It involves blindfolds. Yes. Okay. I don't want to give too much away about.
Well, you can see it on the picture.
Right.
Sandra Bullock in the blindfold.
If you view this monster apparently with your eyes, it somehow
takes your soul,
hypnotizes you or something into wanting to kill yourself. Oh, so all these people are like committing suicide and killing themselves by looking at this monster. So that's why they're all wearing blindfolds.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead. You want this?
There's a Bird Box challenge out now, guys.
Oh my God.
Talking about I guess just doing shit blindfolded. I guess there's been
a lot of YouTubers have already jumped on it and started doing it, which is bad because when they start doing it, they'll do it safely. They'll do an eating challenge of being fed
the regular
food.
People that are just like, okay,
gonna do it and run through their house.
Exactly. Everybody does not understand that YouTubers, they have a whole organization behind them.
Like have a team of production. Team. Like we have a team. We are the production team, but we have a production team here. It's just not like, oh, that one person, that's the face.
Yeah. Look, I saw one today where it's literally a family running through the house blindfolded, and they had a kid who couldn't have been a year old in a blindfold. They're all blindfolded. They're holding hands. They're trying to walk out of their kitchen, and they walk this 1-year-old smack into the side of the wall.
Shit.
And he falls down. I'm like, this is not okay, people.
Not okay. No.
This is not okay. They're attempting to drive cars blindfolded or with their windows covered up. They're
like, no, it's not okay.
Just that.
It's too many hold my beers.
Exactly.
Natural selection. It's hold my beer syndrome.
It is.
I got to do this. Here, hold my beer. I'm going to drive blindfold myself. And cut my yard.
Netflix even came out with a statement on Twitter saying, I can't believe I even have to say this, but please don't hurt yourselves with this Bird Box challenge. We don't know how this started, but we appreciate the love. But boy and girl, we just have one wish for you for 2019, and it's that you do not end up in the hospital due to these memes.
It's supposed to be a better year, and we already started it right on off.
But I mean, I agree with Netflix. Do we have to say this? Are we you know, the Tide Pod challenge, the cinnamon challenge? Are we really at this point where society is so fucking stupid that we have to tell people not to drive blindfolded?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, with Tide Pod challenge and with those, the biggest thing is exposure. So when one person sees someone eating food blindfolded, which would be a fine blindfold challenge, that's a nice little thing where they have to guess what food it is. That's not nice. But when they sit there and go, oh, I got to up it a notch, and then someone else ups it, it makes it worse. And that's where the Tide Pod challenge, it wasn't something that was massively known until big media.
Yeah.
For a lack of better terms, came in and started saying, oh, teenagers are eating it. They weren't.
Yeah.
There was one case of something happening and someone spit it out and it was a prank joke. Then they blew that joke up and a whole bunch of people took it as a real challenge.
Yeah.
Then it became a problem in society. Yeah. And with something like this, Netflix is just trying to jump on it immediately and go, please stop.
Yeah,
please
exactly.
Stop.
Please,
because we do not want to be sued because we put out a video, a movie, a TV show.
I really feel like it goes back to the same thing, you know, anytime somebody tries to blame anything they do on movies or television. Yeah. Look, if you watch a movie or a television show and then you feel like you have to go do something stupid, you had problems before you watched the fucking show.
Exactly.
Normal people don't do these things. You had problems before you watch the show.
Agreed.
Don't blame the movie or the show.
Yeah. Or the music.
Yeah, or the music.
Exactly. Great point. You know,
Good.
Or the video game. Again, I mean,
just
on the video
any
games.
form of entertainment.
Exactly.
You know, normal people don't emulate entertainment.
Exactly.
As normal. I mean, you just.
I like to put on Jackass and watch it.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to go out there and go do some of the stunts. They're getting paid loads of money. They have a medical team behind them. They have a production team. So I'm not going to do all that.
Exactly.
They put in their life in their hands to entertain me. I'm not have to entertain everybody else with that.
Exactly. You're just living your life.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But,
Sorry, we went on a tangent.
No,
there
you're good.
No,
you're
but
good.
I mean, I can't believe we had to say it, but we did. So
But some exciting news. I'm excited about this
I am
one
too.
because this was my top 5 series or my top 5 trilogies. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Smith confirms Jay and Silent Bob reboot has been started in pre-production. That's so freaking exciting.
This is going to be
it's a
awesome.
reboot. I'm happy. Like, oh, we're getting more Jay and Silent Bob stuff, but I'm like,
I mean, he's creative. I know you never know what he's gonna do with it.
Well, I mean, I feel like they had to do the reboot, right? Kevin Smith is half the man he was.
Yeah.
I mean,
to be honest,
I mean, he's completely new,
tiny.
so why not redo?
Fat suits, they make them.
Yeah, it's true.
But I think he's all kidding aside. I think this heart attack has really just given him a whole new sense of life,
right?
And a whole new sense of I got to get out there and just redo everything I always wanted to do, and just take this approach. And I'm loving it. I mean, he's posting every day. He's making it to the top of the Hollywood Hill, and he's doing, and he has creatively, I think, opened up and like started to really go things. I mean,
and even started working with his daughter. Like, it'd be really cool to see Jay and Silent Bob have kids.
Yeah.
Like, and put like because her name's Harley Quinn. Put Harley Quinn
her name
in
is
there.
Harley Quinn, yeah.
That'd be epic.
Speaking of, he's done a lot of that recently too. He's been directing a shit ton of Supergirl and Flash episodes on the CW. They're some of the best episodes, period.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is like massively
He went from
talented.
not wanting to do action directing. He didn't want to do it originally. Like, he was picked up for Green Hornet before it went to... before it was picked up.
Yeah.
Before Green Hornet was picked up by Seth Green, he was actually there to write it. And he wasn't ready to write that type of script. Now he's in writing action, he's directing action.
He does, but
not jumping on the vegan bandwagon. He also went 100% vegan.
Yeah.
That's what I was being told. Like, he completely cut meat out. He's not
an
against
ambassador
meat
for
eaters.
Weight Watchers.
He is.
Oh, yeah.
He is. Well, but I mean, what he does really well, though, creatively, in my opinion, as of late, at least with these episodes on the CW, is what he did so well in his run on the Green Arrow comic books. He is directing a lot of action in these episodes, but you never lose sense of the characters. He's telling a story,
He's been doing
and
that.
you feel for what these characters are going through. They've been some of the most emotional storylines are the ones that he directs on these episodes. So I hope he continues. I'm like Logan.
That's the one
I'm
thing.
just-
Like, they always got onto him for his cinematography was always a bit 2 shots. He always had like 2 shots in that. His specialty was always, since the beginning in Clerks, was character development, getting into real problems, putting out real situations, and showing a side of life that maybe wasn't being shown a whole lot. And also for his brother, try and add a little bit more sensual and gay content, a little bit. It's for his brother.
Yeah.
His brother came to him one day and said, "There's nothing out there that shows me. It shows the stereotypical gay man, not just someone who
his
is
specific,
or someone who's maybe more in the closet, or not someone who's out there on it."
Yeah.
Well,
he's been
Chasing
specially
Amy
doing
dealt
that
with
forever.
Chasing Amy was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah,
I love that fucking monologue when Silent Bob finally speaks. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well,
like,
that's why that started
I
that. Like,
love
his
that.
special, he knew what to say at the last moment.
I'm excited for this. I hope it does
Oh, yeah.
gangbangers. I hope it's huge for him.
Yeah.
In every
you hope,
aspect.
You hope
I
it
can't
does
wait.
gangbangers.
I do.
Gangbangers.
Gangbangers.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
Gangbusters is not nearly as fun as gangbangers. I mean,
Oh my
Oh boy.
goodness.
How are we going to go to this
I
one?
know. I don't even know
Okay.
how to segue
Speaking
to this
of,
one.
that's a nice segue, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's a joke on Rat Pack there, Brett Ratner.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers has announced that they've bought the entertainment library of Rat Pack Dune, which, for anybody who doesn't know, was Brett Ratner's production company, who teamed up and co-financed over 70 films with Warner Brothers over the last decade or so.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't aware, Brett was accused of a lot of sexual misconduct and kind of owned up to a lot of it.
Yeah.
And Warner Brothers decided to go ahead and terminate their contract with him, basically kick him off the studio lot, take down the shingle, and basically end their relationship with him. And Rampage, The Rock's Rampage, was the last film that they had together under their contract deal. So Brett is now gone from Warner Brothers, but they just announced that they bought the library, including all 76 films. And that's, I mean, some biggies in there. Wonder Woman, Gravity, Batman vs. Superman, the Lego Movie, American Sniper, Mad Max, Justice League, Dunkirk.
Oh, boy. Dunkirk
a ton of them. Yeah. So, and obviously, I don't think Warner Brothers, since they did co-finance these films, I don't think they wanted to part with them just because they were getting rid of Brett Ratner.
Exactly.
So,
so rumor, they made it happen.
Yeah, rumor has it they spent about $300 million to buy the library.
Yeah.
So
goodness.
Well, since he has owned up to it, maybe he probably like knowing it and kind of sold it just to kind of like, well, let me just get away from this. Yeah. Let me.
I hope. I mean, I have no doubt that it's part of the settlement with him to get him off the lot. But I mean, regardless, I think that films like Batman vs. Superman and the Lego Movie and Wonder Woman, they belong in Warner Brothers' hands anyway. They own the properties. They own those characters. Exactly. They shouldn't belong to anybody else anyway.
Agreed. Now, this next one is pretty interesting. Louis C.K., he's taking some heat over some apparent gender-neutral jokes and jokes about the Parkland survivors and activists. Now, it was necessarily jokes as in, why are we listening to these people? Why are we taking advice from these people?
Right.
You know, and these are just students going through a terrible tragedy. But, like, these kids now have blue check marks on Twitter.
They do.
Yeah, so, like, why are they now famous just because they survived?
Right.
So it's just that type of thing.
There are survivors of violent crime every day who aren't in front of the camera looking for the limelight.
Exactly.
I mean, and I don't mean this in a negative. I mean, if you are out there and you're an activist and you're truly trying to promote a message to have things changed and get things done, and that's great, but I feel like a lot of these kids were just hungry for fame.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, didn't even one of them say something about like comedy? This is comedy. Y'all shouldn't take it like this.
Yeah. One of the survivors in defense of Louis C.K. said, "Look, he's just joking, and comedy is meant to be offensive sometimes and to get people talking. That's what comedy is about." And so he kind of defended him for saying it. But I mean, all he basically said is like, I don't understand why we have to think you're interesting just because you survived a shooting.
There it is. Yeah.
And you know, now I think he maybe went a little too far when he said you didn't even get shot. You pushed the fat kid in front of you.
Yeah, like,
that was too far. But his point that he was trying to make is, why should I now look at you like you're the next Dalai Lama or Jesus and listen to everything you're preaching just because you survived a shooting? And
well, this is starting to become part of the PC culture is the problem. We're in a place that you can't joke about that. There's tons of comedians. You got Daniel Tosh. You even have like old George Carlin. Many comedians have come out there and said there should not be a situation where you can tell someone you can't joke about that.
Exactly.
You can't tell a person they can't joke about that.
Exactly.
And we got into 2016, 17, 18 with this mentality that certain things can't be joked about. You can't talk about these subjects, and that's bad. That's just creating these really bad situations, and there's a lot of people out there, a lot of bad activists that love to yell at people because they want a platform they can stand on and go after someone who's bigger than them just because, they are there. They make a joke about it. I get that he might have gone too far for you personally, but that was him trying to overstep and trying to make a controversial joke and trying to be funny and relevant again. Some things it's trying to be absurd with some things too. The biggest thing in comedy is to be absurd. So pushing the fat kid is just trying to. I wouldn't necessarily appreciate it, but you can't go after him for it.
Yeah, I mean, but you also got to think about a lot of comedy is dark as shit.
Oh yeah,
it is.
So I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So
yeah, I mean, it isn't. I mean, you just go all the way back to Shakespeare and further.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of comedy is based on tragedy.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the reality of the situation.
You
Almost
just look
all
back
comedy
in the
comes
Greek,
from tragedy.
The Greek writings and stuff like that, and Greek plays.
Yeah.
They were pretty dark too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, and if he's done one thing, regardless of whether you thought he was funny, whether you thought it was horrid, or whether he got people talking again.
It's true.
I mean, and isn't that the whole point? We're
to make a
supposed
dialogue.
to have dialogue and debate and talk. That's what makes this country work.
Exactly.
And you posted earlier, Logan, about being able to disagree with people and still be okay.
Exactly.
I mean, so
like this isn't an attack on your life. It's just a different in opinions.
yeah, he
It's
just has an opinion.
Yeah, and the problem is that in some people, and this is not all. I mean, this is a lot in the SJW realm.
Yeah.
It's my opinion. It's right. You're wrong, and no one's going to listen to you.
Yeah.
That's the worst way to have it.
Yeah.
We listen to both sides of the spectrum. I like to hear both sides.
Yeah, exactly.
I still pick a side, or sometimes I just sit there and going, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
There's two sides to that
and
issue.
There's not a
more
problem
than one
with
facet.
not knowing. That's
There's several
something-
issues I won't have a side on because
Exactly.
I don't have a clear understanding of both sides.
Yeah, and especially if they
both
give you
sides
all
are
the
just as
information
bad.
at one time and they expect you to make a decision right now. It's like, no, let me process this for a while and then I will make an evaluated decision.
But it just goes back to what we talked about in the past about where society now, there's just, it's black or white and there's no middle ground.
Agreed.
You either hate what he said or you love what he said.
Yeah.
Why can't there be middle ground? Why can't we have a
Exactly.
discussion and say, you know what, maybe part of what he said was true
Yeah.
and maybe part of it was a little offensive,
Yeah.
but nobody wants that. Nobody wants to sit down and actually talk. It's just like, I fucking hate you or I love you, nothing in between. And it's
All
like,
about leading
No,
with your emotions.
there's a lot more in between. We
Yeah.
live in the in between.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of good and bad choices out there,
Yeah.
and sometimes you have to make a bad choice because of a certain reason.
I
Yeah.
think, though, unfortunately, more often or not lately, it seems as though less and less people are living in the middle.
Yeah.
And they're just so polarized
Agreed.
one way or the other, and
Yeah.
that's the problem in
Yeah.
society today. So
I feel like a lot of it is social media. Like, I mean, just pick which side your friends
because
are
we
on.
live
I
in a
guess.
soundbite world, it's like
Facts.
your 180 characters or whatever they are now,
Yeah.
or your 15-second video. That's how you form your opinion. But there's
Exactly.
so much more
There's
than
so much
180
more.
characters or
Exactly.
15 seconds of video. How can you possibly make a decision based on that?
Exactly.
That's why I
But-
like our show.
Yeah.
Our show started 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And we had way too
There's
much
no
content.
way. Yeah.
And then every time we try to say anything, we have to go to the next thing. And even I
Exactly.
was like going through, we got to wrap up this, we
you're
got to
like,
go to
shit,
that.
like shit. Yeah, when we used to do the countdowns and
Oh
everything.
my
to the
gosh!
end
Yeah,
of the
this
show.
segment is 15
I'm
seconds.
so
They're like,
glad
what?
that that's
Oh
over.
my gosh!
But now, getting into some sad news, Don Lusk and a whole bunch of people,
yeah,
honestly.
We had a big losses this
Yeah,
week.
Don
did.
Lusk was a legendary animator. Believe he was in the original 9
Yeah,
with Disney
the
and
9 Old
everybody.
Men, yep.
Yeah, the 9 Old Men. He died at 105. He worked on projects like Bambi, Pinocchio, Fantasia, and just so many
Yeah,
more.
almost
So,
all of the
yeah,
legendary.
he's-
Yeah,
Yeah, he had a long life,
yeah.
though.
I
That's the
mean,
thing.
yeah,
he
he
has a
lived.
celebrated long life.
He
So
lived.
105.
Now
Wow.
this is really weird. On the 2nd, January 2nd, 3 people that we know of, or at least that I saw,
Yeah, and I
died.
think it ended up even being like 5 or
Oh,
6.
shit.
You know, a couple lesser
Yeah.
knowns, but yeah.
They died at age 76, all on the same day. Mean Gene he was an announcer,
Oh,
an
yeah,
interviewer
man. I
from the
loved Mean
WWE.
Gene.
I
He
did
was-
too, man. Like
That
so
was
freaking
like that
epic.
was the classic
And
era and
s-
attitude era
yeah.
of WWE.
Yeah.
It was. It was
WWE.
it was
Actually,
like the golden age
WWF.
of
Let's go
Golden Age.
WWF. Let's originally call it what it was.
Right.
And he was awesome. He had the best interviews.
He did.
Him
Right.
just
Everybody
interviewing
loved him.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and he tried to keep class in
Yeah.
it all. That's
Yeah.
what my favorite.
Exactly.
Always
Well, you
in a
have, like,
suit
this
and
Always
tie.
in a suit.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have this big grunting guy go, "Rrr, rrr, I'm gonna crush you," and holding out a little
Yeah.
milk and stuff like that.
Oh, man.
And he's just like, okay,
Yeah,
sure.
just tell me
He's
how
like,
you really feel.
tell us how
Another
you-
one that I was just really just devastated by was Bob Einstein. And I know he's been having a good run on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and a lot of people, younger generation, know him from there.
Yeah.
But I will never forget him as Super Dave
Super
Yeah.
on
Dave.
Dave Letterman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was always on Dave Letterman as Super Dave.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I remember
it
him being
was
on there.
some of the funniest stuff I have
Yeah.
ever seen in my life. This guy was a brilliant comedian
Yeah.
who, I mean, he was basically Jackass before Jackass.
No shit.
Super Dave was like this, world class,
Amen.
like an Evel Knievel stunt guy
Yeah.
who always messed it up, was always into,
That's funny.
hurting himself and kind of like doing ridiculous stunts or whatever. Super Dave Osborne. But yeah, man.
Well, they still, like, even Jackass still even called out like Super Dave
Yeah.
for inspiration.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
they knew
I
they
mean,
knew they paid tribute to.
some of those episodes with David Letterman were just some of the best ever. I mean, I was.
It's got to go on YouTube and start looking up Super Dave compilations.
I was bummed to see that he died, and then. I might not. I mean, I don't know. I might be the only one old enough in the group to know.
Yes, we all know.
Captain and
Captain passed away.
Yeah, love will keep us together. Daryl Dragon died.
Actually, Suzanne here would know it quite well. She's. I thought you said you did know.
I'm just saying for anybody watching the YouTube video right now, Chris is sleeping in the doghouse. I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness!
But he Love could not keep them together. He passed. For anybody who doesn't know, Captain and Tennille, Love Will Keep Us Together, their big hit in the 70s. Little known fact, though, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Daryl was actually the original drummer for the Beach Boys.
Really?
Way back in the day.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He was kind of like that other drummer for the Beatles that nobody ever really knew.
Like all the other drummers in Nirvana before Dave Grohl.
Yeah. But the Captain, there was a whole reason the guys behind the Captain in the sailor hat and all his Beach Boys.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Shit.
But people didn't know that.
People didn't know.
This one I found interesting. For anybody who's a fan of Showtime and the show Billions, and I mean, come on, it's Paul Giamatti. Yeah, I mean, how can you not be a fan? It's a fucking brilliant show. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's brilliant. Anyway, there's a character on there called Dr. Wendy Rhodes, who's actually the wife of Paul Giamatti's character. And she's basically like this psychologist who finds the weaknesses of these investment traders, and her job is to pump them up and make them feel good about themselves in order to trade better on the market. And she relies on their emotions and plays off their emotions to guide them to make the right trades, so to make them feel powerful, if you will, or whatever. Well, a real life performance coach is suing the creators of Billions, saying that she was one of the inspirations behind the character, and the whole idea kind of was pitched around her and because of her. Yeah. And she's now saying, hey, Wendy Rhodes is me, and I'm not getting any credit. I'm not getting any recognition or kind of. So she's suing them. Yeah. The creators of the show and the stars of the show. And
did she literally say in the deposition or anything that she was the inspiration? Because
she did.
That immediately says no. You're not going to get it done.
She went beyond that. She said she is Wendy Rhodes. That the character of Wendy Rhodes is her, based solely on her. All of the stuff that she does is based on what she does, and that the creators basically learned about this type of a person from her, and specifically wrote the character based on the knowledge that they had on her.
Shit.
So,
they interviewed and talked with her beforehand.
Yeah, and she was apparently there. She's claiming involved in the creation of what became that character, and now she wants money for it. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I don't know. I mean, Showtime, that's a relatively big company. You don't want to.
And you usually would know about that, and but
I just feel like we're moving into season 4, though. Where were you season 1?
Exactly.
Wendy's been a part of the show since season 1. You didn't know in season 1 she was based on you.
Right.
Why now?
That lady's kind of like me. Yeah. I don't know though.
Season 2, she's like, no, I really think
she's starting to. Yeah.
That's my thing.
Maybe that was in the back of her queue, and she just found it and started watching. And wait, that's me.
I don't know. I always question these type lawsuits when the thing has been around forever. Yeah. It's like, why would you wait 4 years to sue? That's when I feel like somebody's guiding her. Somebody's like, hey, you can get some money from me. Well,
it constantly happens. Happens a lot for Rockstar and their video games. That they constantly get sued. They got sued by Lindsay Lohan because there's a chick in a bikini doing the peace sign. Yeah, it's just... She supposedly copyrighted this now. No, I can't because it's been out since way longer.
GTA 5?
GTA 5 cover. And then there was a storyline where you went by one of the studios. It wasn't a storyline. It was like a quick mission. You go by one of the studios.
Like the paparazzi thing?
Yeah, they're chasing her down. You go pick her up and get her away from the paparazzi. That's supposed to be
her?
That's supposed to, she sued that it was supposed to be her.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's
some of the characters from San Andreas were like, oh, that's my real life. I was the gangster type. It's like, really?
Well, or most recently, like all the people suing Fortnite for the dances.
It's like, a whole bunch of people,
You can't put that stuff out there for the whole world to see and have it out there forever and then sue when somebody takes it. Yeah. Like, you can't, I mean...
And the biggest problem is the Carlton is a stolen dance.
Yeah.
He didn't make that
He
dance.
created it from a series of dances from other people. So
he took it directly from Tom Jones.
Yeah,
It's the dance for the song from Tom Jones. He saw Tom Jones doing that dance. He adapted it for that character and did the dance.
Exactly.
That means at all because Tom Jones sings like
and
this
by the
on
way,
stage.
Carlton doesn't. It's called the Carlton dance.
Exactly.
Alfonso Ribeiro is not Carlton.
Exactly.
If anybody owns it, it's the creators who own Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
It's not Alfonso.
Yeah.
There it is.
Quincy
right there.
Jones. Quincy Jones is like, "Where's my check?"
And Will.
Yeah.
That's who should be saying, "Hey, that Carlton dance is my money."
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
Oh well. And
Did he
speaking
get any farther with that on him trying to copy? Did he try to
I don't
copyright
know.
it?
I guess we'll keep.
I gotta look that up.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Stay
And then
tuned.
this next one, it was no surprise to me because I'm just not a fan.
No.
I know I'm probably making a lot of people mad right now, but I'm just not a big fan. I don't get the whole infatuation with
the hype.
Tiffany Haddish,
Who
apparently put on a comedy show in Miami on New Year's Eve, and it was so bad that reportedly fans booed and walked out on her.
Who's I'm lost. Who's this?
Exactly. She's been popular for like the past year, and basically she came in the limelight for badly announcing Oscar-nominated people's names. That's the first time I have ever heard of her.
That's the first time I had ever seen her too, and I'm like, who is this person who can't read?
Can't like
Why
pronounce
would
anybody's
you-
name. Something simple like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, why would you? That was my thought. Why would you have somebody announce the names of these nominees who can't read? Because I legitimately thought she couldn't read.
Right?
Because they were some simple stuff.
It was like every time too.
Yeah, I get being nervous. I
Yeah.
get being maybe not able to see the prompter.
Right.
But there were just
Wait. Was
things-
she stealing a joke from Keenan and Peele?
I don't
There's
I
an
don't-
episode where
she was, like,
the principal,
sincere.
the teacher,
she was sincerely struggling, and
Yeah.
it was just, and then it's like from that she blew up.
Exactly.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah, well, let's talk about it. On New Year's in Miami, it was New Year's Eve, she had a show that she was going to do, a stand-up show, and fans reportedly booed and walked out of it.
Yeah,
But
it was-
apparently the night before, she was up all night partying, drinking, like... So why would you set yourself up for a bad show, basically?
Right.
Like, what the hell?
Like, you're basically saying, hey, I don't give a shit about my
Fuck
fans.
my fans, yeah,
I'm just
like,
going to go and do
it's
this
really-
shitty performance. They paid for it anyway.
Exactly.
So
I don't know, man. I mean, it's on comedy. You can do pretty hungover. You can do it pretty messed up and
Apparently
hungover.
not her.
Not her.
No. I
Twitter
mean-
was mad. Everybody was upset.
Twitter
Like,
was mad.
it was-
we
yeah.
mad in the Twitter.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Not fans.
No. All right, now it is time for our top 5 segment. Since it's the new year, the top 5 this week is top 5 New Year's resolutions and top 5 goals. Man, this was a good one. We're going to have a special guest on the show today, the one and only Miss Shani Drake. Oh my gosh, met her out in LA. She's been on the show once before with Alvin Sanders, that episode, so I'm excited to talk to her again. She had a little rough year, I must say, in 2018. She'll talk about it a little bit. And she's back at it now. So she's back on her feet, back to work, and it's very inspiring. I can't wait to talk to her about it.
Just extremely inspiring. She never got down, never got,
Always
like, it
positive.
yeah.
Yeah.
And couldn't wait. Like every day it was like, I got to get back out there. I got to get back out
Yep.
of there. So yeah, she's an amazing young woman. So
Yeah. Let's give her a call.
Hi.
Hey, Shani.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going awesome. How are you?
Fantastic.
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys?
Awesome.
Really well.
Just awesome.
A little foggy weather outside, but we're not
Yeah,
keeping
you
it
know,
down,
Sure.
getting
We
us
haven't
down.
seen the sunshine in like 2 weeks, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it's been pretty
Try-
Too
nasty.
bad.
Trying to get over some sickness. It's like flu and cold season. Got a little cold going around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. There's a lot going around.
Yes, definitely. But we want to talk to you today because we know that 2018 was kind of a trying year for you, and a top 5 segment is top 5 New Year's resolutions / goals. So we thought you would be perfect because honestly, you inspired all of us here at Crazy Ant with your motivation and dedication to get back on set after being in the hospital for a few months.
Thank you. That means a lot to hear.
Of course. Now, do you want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, sure. I did have to go into the hospital in the fall of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in and out for like 2.5 months, I think. And it was definitely the first time that my life had to kind of go on pause since moving to LA to pursue acting. So that was hard because, as you guys know, the industry doesn't really stop and wait for anyone. So I felt like I was missing things. But it was also hard because every day I was in hospital, I had to deal with a really high level of stress, and that was just hard to cope with in general, and it wasn't something I was used to. So the whole situation was pretty challenging.
Yeah.
I think one of the things, though, that was so inspiring is your even dealing with the stress, dealing with the fact that your career is on hold and that, like you said, the industry doesn't wait and it's not a forgiving industry. You never lost your upbeat attitude. You never lost your.
I tried not to.
I mean, you just every day you would post about, I can't wait to get back out there, or I can't wait to do this, and I'm excited about this. And I think, your mental state had a lot to do with you getting through what you got through. And I think another thing that had a lot to do with it was your support system and the people that you have around you, because I thought it was really fantastic to the way your mom and dad and the way your friends and just everybody, the support that they gave and the encouragement that they gave to get you through it. I think it's so important, especially in this industry.
Yeah, definitely. I never would have made it through if my parents hadn't been there by my side the entire time. And I had so much support from friends, including you guys. So thank you so much.
Oh, of course. And and Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, Gilmore Girls.
She got through with Starbucks and Gilmore Girls, just to let you guys know. Every day there was a post.
Right. Now I gotta admit, I just started watching Gilmore Girls, and I'm a fan. I really like it.
Yay! That's so great to hear. I got my parents to start it too.
Nice.
Right? I feel like if you sit down and you get through the first few episodes, you're hooked.
Yes,
I mean, you can't help but get hooked. It's so good.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to be.
Hell yeah. But let's do the top 5, and let's do we'll save the best for last, Miss Shani for last.
That's right.
Because we always save our guests for last. But let's bring up Emily's and Tavia's top 5 New Year's resolutions / goals. Now, Emily's were...
Wait, should we... Did Emily actually give us 5?
She 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Whoa!
She got 5.
All right. Last check, Lil Kim had 3, so I was just wondering.
Well, she got procrastinate less because she does procrastinate a lot.
Coming up with 5.
I
think that's all of us, though. We always.
To be honest, she has exercise more, but honestly, whose list is this not on? I feel like everybody always wants to better themselves,
Right.
Write more because she's an inspired journalist. She's going to go to school for journalism, so I could see that. Be more organized. I guess her room is pretty cluttered, so that makes sense.
Oh, wow. You just
taking shots.
Just slam her out to the audience. You're like, she has a messy room.
She doesn't get that from me.
Not
get that from me.
And just travel to new places.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yes,
travel to
honestly.
new places.
We all do it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, we try. we try. What we do, we calculated it, and we make it somewhere every 3 months.
Every 3 months, yeah. Every 3 months we're somewhere.
That's so freaking awesome.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah. And Tavia's is to write more. She's been writing a whole bunch of content for us recently, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. She's a first-time writer, so I can't wait to put everything out there when it's time.
When it's time, right, Shani? When it's time. We're pretty excited about one,
definitely.
For sure.
She also has to travel more because, everybody loves to travel.
Sure, everybody does.
Invest in a camera of her own, and so she can start taking more photography
that's been my
pictures.
resolution for a long time.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to get a really good camera.
She wants to pick up painting again. She actually is a really good painter. I've been to her house. She has them on the wall. They're really good. They honestly are. And enjoy the last few months before she starts off her 30s. That's the last one. Man, I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm turned 30. I just want to be young forever.
Man, whatever. But God bless her. Okay. Enjoy the 20s.
I'm just saying. All right. And mine are personally to get a sponsor for this podcast. So if you are listening to this podcast, please sponsor us. We appreciate you.
You could be a sponsor.
We're great at
your
promoting
content
everything.
could be here.
Exactly.
Right.
We're great at promoting things. expose this podcast and fantastic reviews to a wider audience, because I feel like it's very informative about
There's a second
people
plug.
getting into the industry and about reviewing good things and stuff like that. Finally, make it out to LA. This is going to happen before the year is over.
Yes.
Crazy Ant will be relocated to LA.
Yep.
So that's going to be freaking phenomenal.
So exciting for that. I can't wait.
Yeah, and get better at my editing skills for photography and videos, because I'm an aspiring photographer and cinematographer, and that comes to my first one, which is become a better photographer / cinematographer.
I like you. Yours was more technical and skill based than.
I mean, I'm always just trying to better myself.
Yeah, that's an interesting list.
Thank you,
All
thank you, Sound Man.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready for your?
Well,
one?
they usually go after Dustin, so it's like the loop around. Well, those are all great.
Thank you.
I usually don't really make a New Year's resolution because they're so easy to break.
It's true.
I just go by the simple thing of be a better person than you were yesterday.
I like that. That's awesome.
That's it. Just always striving to do that. Just to be a little bit
Exactly.
better, do a little bit better, try to be a little bit better than
Exactly.
you were the person you were before.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just
No.
something. Just a little inch.
Just a little something. Yeah.
Exactly.
I like that.
A little bit more knowledge or a little bit more skill or a little bit more exercise.
Exactly.
All right, mine. First thing I want to do is start a journal.
Oh, okay.
You know, I too took a lot of writing in college and was encouraged to be a writer, and I've always kind of fancied writing a little bit, but I got away from it for a long time.
Yeah.
And we've just had so much going on over the last couple of years, so much amazing stuff that I wish I had written down, like, holy shit, this happened this day or that day. So I'm determined to start a journal this year and just keep tracking my own kind of words about what was going on, you know, on this journey that we're on.
Yeah.
One thing is imperative. I am determined to get more sleep.
There you go.
I only average like 2 hours a night, and clearly it is not enough. So I am determined to get
every
more
doctor
sleep.
out there would say that.
Yeah. I slept for 14 hours yesterday because my body finally said, no, we're shutting down. So I need to get more sleep. That's on there. Another one is more breaks from social media.
Yeah.
It's really hard to do in this industry because you got to promote yourself. You got to be out there and everything. But I did it a few times over the last few months where I would just take a weekend and disconnect and kind of just relax and focus on
you gotta
some
set your
different
limits
things.
on social media. You really do. Everybody needs to have a limit on social media.
And so I want to do a little bit more of that. Another thing I want to do is volunteer more. I donate to a bunch of charities and I do a lot of stuff like that. And I'm really happy that I do all that, but I want to do it on a little bit more physical level and personal level. Get out there and get to a soup kitchen more often, or to a homeless shelter a bit more often. And, you know, or you know, the Houses for Humanity, or, you know, just a Habitat for Humanity.
I can go help you get trained up at American Red Cross.
I mean, just, you know, something more. I think that it's a good thing for everybody to do is to volunteer.
Agreed.
Especially if you can take the time to do it. And another it goes along, I guess, with the traveling or whatever, but I want to take more outdoor trips, more nature trips, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like we do a lot of these big cities and everything, but I mean, one of the best times we had on this last trip out there was Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
I was so, and I felt like it was kind of, man, I could stay here forever.
Right.
Kind of, so I want to do more of that. I want to go see more of nature and like what's out there. 'Cause
Definitely.
it's such a beautiful country.
Yeah.
Santa Fe was amazing.
It was.
So just more of that. And that's my 5, just kind of, because, you know, I'm chilling. I'm on that back half.
Try to enjoy life.
That's right. Tavia is trying to ramp up for the 30s. I'm just trying to chill on the back half. I'm like, okay, let's slow down a little bit. You know, but anyway.
Man. What do you got, Shani?
I really liked all the things that you guys said.
Thank you.
Especially the taking the break from social media one. That's something I need to do as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so helpful every now and then to just disconnect.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, because I'm on Instagram so often. But one of my goals is to actually grow my Instagram following.
Nice. Yeah, we saw you. I saw you hit 1,000, right? You hit 1,000 followers recently.
Yeah, I did finally reach 1,000.
That's
so
very
that was
exciting.
cool.
that is exciting.
Yeah.
Congrats on that.
Thank you. Another one of my goals this year is to shoot the pilot episode of my web series, Star Kids.
Yes.
Cool.
You've been promoting it like crazy. I can't wait.
Seriously.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I would love to book my first speaking role on a network TV show, because I've done a lot of like web series and indie stuff, but I haven't done any network stuff yet, so I would love to do that.
That's exciting.
and I would just love to continue working on my craft and get better as an actor.
There you go. Definitely.
See, inspired.
Yeah.
She's such a go-getter.
She is.
I mean, like, there's so many. You hear youth criticized so often about, oh, this generation, that generation.
Yeah.
But there are so many good people, young people like
Yeah.
like Logan, yourself, and Emily, and everybody. Just and Shani, and just don't listen to all the crap.
Exactly.
There are plenty of good young people who are motivated and doing things awesome
Seriously.
and going for life. I mean,
Exactly. We're not all stuck to our phones on social media or on
Exactly.
video games. We're trying to be creative. We're trying to make something of ourselves.
Exactly.
Like,
We are.
definitely. But oh my goodness, thank you so much for joining us today, Shani.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's always a lot of fun.
It
And
really is.
I'm so excited that you guys are moving to LA. That's awesome.
Yeah, we
Yes.
can't wait to get out there. You're never going to get rid of us. You'll see us all the time.
That's cool.
I mean,
It'll
we'll
be
have
fun.
Starbucks and Gilmore Girl nights. We'll have a
And
time.
Friends Nights.
And
You've been to
Friends Nights.
yeah, you
Oh,
were
Yeah,
on
it's so much fun.
oh my gosh.
She's a pro at going to Stars Hollow.
Yeah.
She'll have to take us to Stars Hollow.
Yeah,
I mean,
freaking take us around a tour of Warner Brothers like
She's got it
I
down.
definitely want to go back there.
oh my goodness.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Well, all right. Well, we'll be in touch soon. So, and like Logan said, thanks so much for joining us. Always fun when we have people on and join us for the top 5. So,
Yeah, definitely.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Of
Awesome.
course. Well, we'll talk to you
I'll talk to
later.
you
Have
guys
a good
soon.
day.
Okay, bye.
bye.
She's just awesome.
She really is.
Like
She's
every
just-
time we talk to her, she just loves the craft. I love doing this podcast specifically because everyone we talk to love and enjoy the craft. It's not about the money, it's not about the fame.
No.
It's about doing what you love to do.
It's
Yeah.
being an artist.
being an
Exactly,
artist.
being an artist in your
Passion.
own creative right. It's so freaking epic.
I mean, I'm telling you, if you don't follow her, be sure to follow her on social media. She's on Twitter and on Instagram.
Yeah.
And she's so inspiring.
Yeah.
I mean, you just go back and look at her feed, and you'll see this past year, and you can't help but get inspired.
Yeah.
I mean, she's amazing. So.
Yeah, seriously. All right, now it is time for the word of the day. Soundman,
Well,
take
this
it away.
word of the day this week's an acronym.
Is it
Oh.
So we're doing an ADR.
ADR?
ADR.
It's usually kicked around a lot. You hear a lot of times of an actor going back into a studio to do some ADR work or so, and that's usually it's the re-recording of lines after shooting, usually to replace poor quality, sometimes to change a line or how a line was delivered, because sometimes there was maybe a part that didn't work right, or they had a big change in the whole movie overall, so they couldn't use that line. They had to change it, referring to a part they cut out.
Right.
Or to remove bad language in a PG-13.
Deadpool.
Or
Once Upon
for
a
something
Deadpool.
like that's going on TV, especially in a situation where it's another actor dubbing over. It's
Yeah.
called looping.
Oh.
It's called looping is where they have to take it. It's like where James L. Jones re-recorded over someone else's voice
Yeah.
for Darth Vader, or in a lot of television stuff to remove the bad word.
Yeah.
They loop in a line that might not be, like
Always
mother
fun to
lover
watch
instead
that.
of
Yeah.
someone else.
Yeah, I'm
Always
always finding like stuff like that on Friends. Like,
Yeah, I mean, because the lips move.
Yeah.
and you get just that looped comment or that looped word. And
You're like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they always come up with the lamest stuff
They
to
do.
loop into it.
Yeah.
Like it's like nobody would ever say that. Like, that
Oh, and
word.
there's a whole video out there just censoring content for that. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
tired of these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
Yeah, like
is the
what-
funniest
like,
line
what-
ever, but it
what-
makes no sense at all.
Goodness gracious.
monkey fighting snakes.
Right.
What?
Like, okay.
All right, that's a good word though.
It
ADR.
really was,
ADR.
yeah. All right, let's do some box office predictions. Aquaman.
Oh yeah, new year, new
Yeah.
prescriptions.
Prescription predictions. Aquaman, I predicted it to be number 1, and it was. But let me just say, before we even do a recap, I was so off on the numbers this week.
Oh no!
So I'm not even going to say the numbers.
The
but
numbers
New
are
Year
tricky.
resolution
They
is
were.
to be better on my number.
right, like, but I did get the top 5 right. They weren't necessarily in the right order, but the top 5 were right.
So they were there. They, just
They were there. Yeah, they were switched around a little bit.
2 and 3
Aquaman-
and 1 and 5.
Yeah, Aquaman I got right, which it was number 1, which I predicted. I predicted like 35 or 30 to 35, and it got 52.1. So yeah, this is what I mean by the numbers were crazy this week. Number 2 was Mary Poppins, which I predicted Bumblebee. So that's pretty interesting. Those two seem to be flip-flopping a lot. And so number 3 was Bumblebee over Mary Poppins, or under Mary Poppins. And number 4 was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Universe, which that's one I got right for the specific spot. And yeah. And number 5 was The Mule. It's crazy that The Mule is still over Vice, Sherlock Holmes, Welcome to Morrowind, just because no one wants to see those.
Yeah, no.
Bad reviews.
Bad reviews.
A lot of bad reviews on a lot of those Morrowind and
I saw
Sherlock
that
and
one.
Holmes.
It's not good.
Yeah, and then I saw Vice, and it's not good. So there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, but everybody loves Clint.
Everybody loves
Clint can just say what he wants to say, do what he wants to do. People are still gonna go see his movie.
Well,
So,
his last movie was it was a good attempt at something, but it was something
that,
was
315 to Paris. Or
that's using the guys that were in that situation to. They're
rough.
not actors; they can't reproduce what they did.
I just knew, and you could go back and listen to the podcast that we
Yeah,
talked about
when
that
they
film
first
on.
started
But I
it.
think I'm almost positive I said it. He will not end on this film.
No.
He'll
No.
come back and make another one just because he can't end
because
on.
he can't.
He knew. He had to know.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh, this is not.
And
good.
then you have a
No.
great cast. You
I
have
mean-
Brian Cooper. You
Exactly.
This one is a good one. This is a good farewell.
Yeah.
If he decides that that's it, this
No,
is wrapped up,
I don't
Yeah.
think. I don't know. Is there a rumor on the farewell?
No, me personally, I think Clint's going to die on set.
You think so?
I do. I think
Always
he's
gonna
going to
do
work
it?
until he dies.
Yeah.
He's gonna do a Kubrick and halfway in the middle.
I would not
production.
be shocked at all if he dies on set.
Oof. Craziness.
Yeah.
Well, the new movie's coming out this week. There's only one, Escape Room. I haven't seen any trailer for this. Have you guys seen anything for
Is
it?
that based on like the popular thing that's showing up in cities where you
I
go
don't
in
know,
and pay
but we want to do
leave?
that.
We wanna do one, by the
Yes,
way,
we
yes.
want to do it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This one stars
Should go in with
Shay
some
Mitchell,
GoPros
right?
and have it recorded
Yeah.
as Crazy Ant tries to escape.
Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious.
Right? I mean, is it Shay Mitchell that's in this
I have
one?
no idea.
I want to. I think it is.
I just had it pulled up. Let me.
But
go
yeah,
back
no.
to
The
it.
only thing I've seen is like the little 45-second quick trailer on
Yeah.
like Facebook or something. I
Yeah.
haven't seen any kind of full.
If there wasn't like many
all
trailers,
our
that kind of
marketing
worries me.
for
This
it.
is not this is the time of year where all the movies get dumped. This is
Agreed.
where people go to theaters to go to a warm climate with some hot popcorn and warm up, and these are where the dump movies
Well,
come
you know what
out.
I want to say, and like I don't know who made this, so I'm not sure. But I like to call this the Bloomhouse effect.
Yeah.
I think everybody.
Oh, Deborah Ann Wall's in it.
Yeah, that's it.
Taylor
Yeah.
Russell,
Yeah.
Tyler Labine, like Logan Miller.
I knew it was somebody recent that we had just talked about.
Yeah.
Deborah Ann Woll
Oh.
from Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Karen, yay. But what I call it the Bloomhouse effect because I think now so many filmmakers are trying to jump on this. We can make a really cheap horror movie and have the success that Jason Blumhouse has had with all of his films.
It doesn't even have to be horror. I mean, we saw what's that one called that he did for $5 million? Upgrade.
Oh yeah, Upgrade. Yeah,
So-
yeah. So and I feel like
With two
this-
G's? No.
No.
But guys, the difference is that Blumhouse is actually finding pretty good scripts.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
I
the
mean,
thing.
you can't just make just some cheap movie that's
Exactly.
horrible and expect to come out swinging. I know that horror movies are easy. They're inexpensive and they normally do well. But
Yeah.
if it's a bad movie, it's a bad movie.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Truth or Dare, that had a great cast, like Lucy Hale, but
Yeah, and
it
that
just-
was Blumhouse.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that
It's
shows
hit
you
or
even
miss.
Blumhouse can't. You know,
Exactly.
It's a hit or miss sometimes. So.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only new one coming out this week. Movies that are still out are The Mule, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Aquaman, Mary Poppins, Bumblebee, Second Act, Welcome to Marwen Vice, and Holmes and Watson. Don't go see the last three.
I'm curious to see if next week we're talking about Marwen and or Vice getting a bump after the Golden Globes.
Really? You think? At
they're
least
Sunday.
Vice? At
Yeah.
least Vice is nominated for a lot
For
of
a
shit.
I think
lot of
Vice
them.
has a lot of
And-
nominations already
and
for Golden
they're
Globes.
on Sunday night.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see if next week we're talking about any of them saw a bump from the award show.
I mean, that'll be
Award show
interesting.
Bumblebee Bump.
I mean, you see that sometimes after the Oscars, you see people flood back to the theaters
Yeah.
to go see the films. So.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Number one, I predict this week will be Aquaman. I don't think that's going anywhere until Glass comes out, and I think that's January 18th, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So Aquaman, I think it's going to be around 20 to 30 million. That's a pretty wide range, I know, but I mean, the numbers
He's
have been
trying
crazy.
to fix those numbers. for
Yeah,
his New
I'm
Year's
trying to fix
resolution.
those numbers, trying to get them right. I'm gonna say Mary Poppins at number 2 this week. Fuck it. With around 20 to 25 million. Bumblebee at number 3 with around 10 to 15 million. Number 4, I got Escape Room with around 10 to 15 million. And number 5, I have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse with around 7 to 10 million. So we'll see. We'll see.
That. I think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is hanging around in the top 5 because it's got excellent word of mouth.
Yeah, honestly,
everybody comes out talking
movie.
about it, and
yes,
everybody's
exactly.
talking
I've heard
good stuff
my
about
my other boss up there was talking about.
Yeah.
He's like, go see it in 3D. It's worth the 3D.
I bet.
Very well in the 3D.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, that's how a movie gets long legs at the box office. Word of mouth.
Yeah.
It can kill or
Seriously.
make a movie. I mean,
exactly.
Because a lot of people don't listen too much to the critics because sometimes they get way too critical. They're looking for the best, the piece de resistance movie of all movies.
Yeah.
We just want to go to the movie theater to not think about our lives outside the movie theater.
Like just
for
to
a
be
few
entertained.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, now doing the whole filmmaking, film production, and everything like that. Now I'm more like critic, more like, all right, this shot was awful, this shot was shit. Like, but
I'll still find those moments. Trust me, I get someone gets irritated. I was like, why is that there?
You spot the boom mic, or
you're like,
the continuity problems. You're like, the glass was 3/4 full.
Yeah.
And like,
oh no, we're going back and we like started watching all of Buffy.
Oh yeah.
And they started hacking the fiber optic network.
Oh shit. I like, boh.
Yeah.
No,
well, it's like the fiber optic network. No, that's just a cable.
Just the opposite of that. Positive word of mouth for Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse has been killing it and just making it, stay around at the box office. And just the opposite. I mean, bad word of mouth, all but dead on arrival for Vice.
Yeah.
While the critics loved it and it's been nominated for all kinds of awards and everything, people are fleeing from it faster than shit at the box office.
You also have Sherlock and Holmes. You got two great comedians who've worked together for years, have made great comedies before with Step Brothers and Talladega Nights that have made a lot of money and they're real popular. Did they already go to the well too many times?
Right,
is that
we were
thing?
talking about it. Why not remake one or do a sequel to one of those classics like Talladega Nights or Step Brothers? That's what people want to see.
Yeah.
Like, why try something new? But we don't know. I mean,
I
think they just like having fun. But I mean, as long as they can take that expense. Like,
but did anybody
this is what it
want to
says,
see
like,
a
worst
comedy
movie?
of Sherlock Holmes?
No,
I just don't.
I mean, Sherlock Holmes,
and especially like we've already tapped that well a lot.
That's what we were talking about.
Benedict, RDJ, like it doesn't need. Those are two great interpretations.
Then you also have like all the American shows like Elementary. Even I mean, House was essentially House is Sherlock just in a medical drama.
way.
Yeah, we've seen it. I mean, so
do not know. But let's switch it over to music a little bit. Hot 100. Thank You Next is still on there. What if this one breaks Drake's In My Feelings?
I mean,
I thought Drake's was because of the challenge, but there's no challenge along with this one, so we shall see. But she was just named to do headline Coachella, right?
Yeah.
So,
the big question around here, around the studio, was, will she back out?
Right.
Like I mean, she hasn't
backed out a lot of
through.
stuff, man.
I mean, seriously, she hasn't followed through on a lot of stuff lately. So I mean, Coachella is a big deal.
Exactly. You back out, you're getting sued.
Yeah. I mean, that's not
No, that's not.
I hope she's prepared.
Yeah, exactly.
And what I saw, did you see? Idris Elba is DJing it this year.
What the hell?
Yeah. Like what?
Hey, I didn't know he was a DJ. Or is he just talking? Is he just hosting it?
They say DJing. Now, whether that means going up on stage and announcing the talent, or
right,
if he's going to be spinning some records, I don't know. But I just thought that was cool as shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah,
so.
that's really epic. Oh my goodness. Well, top 200 albums, 21 Savage's new album, I Am Greater Than I Was. It's a new album out there. Go listen to that. I have not listened to it, but yeah. Honorable mention this week, Greatest Showman is back in the top 5.
Yes.
What the hell? Like, last week it was number 10. The week before it was like number 20. It's been on the Billboard Top 200 for like 55 weeks straight.
Hugh Jackman, man. People love Hugh Jackman.
You think it's about to ramp up because of that one-man show?
I do. I think, he's been, if you follow him on social media, he's been posting relentlessly that he's getting ready and getting in shape and preparing for his one-man show, which is going to feature a lot of the music from the stuff that he's done. Les Miserables and The Greatest Showman and a bunch of stuff. So, yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
I mean...
It's crazy.
Talk about passion.
Yeah,
you nailed
seriously.
it. That's a guy who is passionate about what he does.
Yeah.
I mean,
we wouldn't mind to see you in the Avengers movie.
Yeah, no, Hugh Jackman.
But that could be that passion. He doesn't feel like he could give. I mean, that's the thing. He might not be able to give it all for the Avengers, for those movies.
He appeared as that character, I think, 18 times, something like that.
Yeah. It made his
with
career
cameos
with cameos.
Yeah,
like 18 times. It's insane.
I personally, as much as I would love to see Wolverine in the MCU, don't get me wrong, I would love to see it. I think that Logan was the perfect swan song. They nailed it.
Ending.
They got it right. It was perfect. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Just walk away and say, done, nailed it, good to go.
Nailing the coffin, literally.
We all want him to come back and just.
I know. I would love a Wolverine and Deadpool movie.
Well, I'm okay with that. If they want to do that and keep him as Old Man Logan, that would be fine.
Yeah.
But keep him as Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
I mean, and that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great. But I think
so you'd rather see him go the path of the X-Force than the path of the MCU?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be interesting. See what happens.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest. Don't get me wrong. I think Kevin Feige and all the guys at Marvel Studios are absolute geniuses, and they've proven it time and time again. I'm worried how they're integrating the X-Men in.
Yeah. Or Fantastic Four.
Yeah, well, but at least the Fantastic Four they can just wipe clean.
Yeah,
because it's already
established.
Yeah, and they're established.
Yeah,
and so I don't know.
All they gotta do is go over to Fantastic Four and put out the garbage fire.
That's what. Yeah, Fantastic Four. I feel like they just recast, move on.
Yeah,
but X-Men they've been successful. They've been successful films. So
yeah.
I think we all forget Apocalypse. We just skip that one. It's okay. And we forget X3, which Days of Future Past redid. Yeah. So it's okay.
It's fine.
It's okay.
Yeah, because they cleared that timeline.
That's right. They cleared that timeline. That's
so funny. I had to literally watch a YouTube video explaining that shit. Yeah, it's like, you guys remember all this? Yeah, forget about it now.
Yeah, forget about it.
Well, it's because everybody was so mad at Bryan Singer for Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
And how they pulled that off, and it's like,
but Dark Phoenix wasn't Bryan Singer. It was Brett Ratner.
It was Brett Ratner?
Yeah.
Was it really?
Damn.
Damn.
X3 Dark Phoenix was Brett Ratner. And he just went completely
Yeah.
off board. And they're like, wait, what?
What?
That's why they brought Bryan Singer back for the new ones.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we're starting over.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just...
that and the Wolverine.
Oh, yeah. We forget that one, too. Wolverine Origins or whatever.
It's fine.
I remember you being, when the hype of that movie was, we were at the TV station.
Yeah.
You were so hyped for it.
Well,
and
because you figure, and then you see it, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
What the fuck just happened?
And like an interpretation of the Deadpool, but no.
Yeah, but not Deadpool. Yeah. And I mean...
they got you to shut
Days
up.
of Future Past took care of that too. That cleaned that out too.
Exactly.
So
and I mean, if you've seen Deadpool
also
2,
Deadpool
he took care of that. He was like, sorry, hey.
Yeah.
Those are great in
I love him just shooting the body some
or
more.
The Green Lantern one, he's just like, don't do it.
Yeah. Well, the only reason he followed through with the Deadpool character in Wolverine Origins and Green Lantern, because he made a deal with the studio that he would get to do a Deadpool movie the right way.
Yeah.
And he's like, fine, I'll do this shit.
Yeah,
because it's wrong and I don't want to do it. But if you guarantee me I'll get a Deadpool movie, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
And that's, so that happened, thank God.
At least it's finally here. Goodness gracious.
Oh my gosh, yeah. They nailed that.
A long time coming.
Long time coming.
Man. But anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in this week. First episode of 2019. We cannot wait to get this year started. Man, we got so many goals, so many ambitions. It's going to be a very fun year. Cannot wait. Make sure to follow us everywhere on social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Reddit, all that good shit. Facebook, Crazy Ant Media. Instagram, Crazy Ant Media. Twitter, Crazy Ant Media. Reddit, Crazy Ant Media. We have a website, crazyantmedia.com. And my personal goal for the year, let's get the one and only Oprah on the show.